Here we go, ballers. We're down here in the headquarters of fantasy football in St. Petersburg, Florida, where yours truly, the Roixnators, makes it all happen. And this is the little Roixnator here. He won his fantasy game this week, 150 points, high point team. Right back here is where it all happens. This week I'm doing something a little bit different. I am going to come to you live, put it on YouTube, and give you the commentary this week. No more writing. Things are getting too down and dirty. Here we go. Last week's action saw some great games. To start with, the first game of the week saw the Bayou Bandits, who are red hot, ladies and gentlemen, red hot. 179 points, high point game for the second time this season.
Wow!
179 points. Good job, Benny. Bayou Bandits and Scott Lucas doing a really good job. Although this week got some really interesting issues. They've got Kirk Warner and Roethlisberger banged up. So we'll see how that goes. Michael Turner's on the shelf for these guys for another 3 to 4 weeks. Very interesting, though. They got Now You're in New York, the Dogs, and myself for the last game of the season. A lot of action coming up for the 5 and 6 Bayou Bandits. A lot of points being scored by them. Very interesting matchups coming up. They have made 9 moves on the season. They took it to make it rain. Man, oh man, oh man. When I think about heartache, tough, this was me last year. They are 3 and 8, scoring a lot of points every game. Got a really good team chasing it. As you can see, they've made 22 moves, tied for first place in that department with myself. 3 and 8. They've got the Dogs this week in a key matchup. They got to win that game this week, as do the Dogs. They've got me the following week, and they got Cock and Balls finishing the season. So really probably going to have to win out in order to make the playoffs here. So make it rain. Lot of stuff going on, picking up players. LaShawn McCoy, James Charles they picked up last week, who had a big week after he had a 28-point effort. Ryan Grant on the shelf. We'll see what they do this week, but kind of what you see is what you get with this team. Second action of the week saw yours truly, the Cock and Balls, I'm yours truly, the beloved Cock and Balls. Won their 5th straight. Hot as a team can be. The only team hotter in the league is the 3.5 Men, who've won 6 in a row. But Cock and Balls finishes this week with Sabod. Big game. 3.5 Men and make it rain. Cock and Balls is pretty much what you see is what you get with this team. He plays who he's got. He did pick up Ricky Williams a couple weeks ago. Huge pickup. 31 big points last week. Philly defense is playing tough. And pretty much every week all he has to decide is whether to throw Phillip Rivers in there or Matt Ryan. And lately he's been going with Phillip Rivers, who the San Diego Chargers appear to be on track. They beat up on Now You're in New York, who, by the way, Now You're in New York has lost 4 out of 6 games since they changed their name. Beginner's luck is gone. Now You're in New York has finally relinquished the first spot after 10 weeks in first place this year. They've gone to 3rd place. Still a very formidable opponent here. They got a great team. It's going to be interesting to see what Peyton Manning does down the stretch, if they continue to be undefeated or if they get beat. My pick of the week is Houston beats Indianapolis this week in Houston, even though they got a scratchy game by their bonehead kicker last night, Chris Brown, who's a bum. They beat Indianapolis outright this coming week. You heard it here. Now You're in New York. They've made somewhere around 11 moves. Cock and Balls have made 8. Nothing major there. Now You're in New York finishes with the Bayou Bandits, Sabod, and the Dogs. So a lot of running back power on the bench here. Cedric Benson is still injured. They picked up Forsett, and Pierre Thomas is not a typical starter for them because they've got Gore and Adrian Peterson. So we'll see what they do down the stretch here. 7 and 4. That's the Now You're in New York. Next action saw another tough loss with the Dogs against 3.5 Men. 3.5 Men just continue to get it done. They've won 6 in a row, as I've said. The Dogs have lost 6 out of their last 7 games, folks. 6 out of their last 7, and they just can't seem to get it right. They got a great team. Last week they put Aaron Rodgers on the shelf. He burns the league for 40 points. Greg Jennings scores 24 both of them on the shelf for Donovan McNabb and Devon show my arse crack Hester. Well, that's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. So they got beat by 22. They got beat by arguably the best team in the league, who is now in first place, tied with an 8-3 record, but has got the most points of the first place 8-3 teams. That's 3.5 men. 3.5 men is solid all the way around, but I've said it since day one. They're going to live or die with Tony Romo. I'm counting on them, banking on them, on dying, because I can't stand Tony Romo. Can't stand him. I hope he throws 9 picks on Thanksgiving, and then I hope they stuff a turkey in his no-throwing to Jason Witten butt. That's what I think about Tony Romo. Good luck, 3.5 men. You got me this week coming at you. 4 more minutes. I got 4 more minutes. Thank you very much. Okay. So 3.5 men have made, very quickly with their 8-3 record, they've made 12 moves. And the Dogs climbing up that ladder, they've made 19 moves. You got to give it to the Dogs. They continue to try to get better every week. But again, they're 4-7 right now. They're on the outside looking in of that playoff spot. So good luck to them this week. They've got Make It Rain, the Bayou Bandits, and Now You're in New York coming up for the final 3 games of the season. 3.5 men. They have me this week. Cock and Balls, which is going to be a really tough game, going to be a crucial game because that's going to be a very important game for that very coveted bye week for the first week of the playoffs. And then they play Sabod in a game at the end of the season. The last game of the week, ladies and gentlemen, saw yours truly, the Roixnators, which my son wants me to change the name. He wonders what it means. But 145 to 101. Hey, listen, my team's not the same team it was when on draft day. I've got a completely different team. 2 of the only people that I got left are Jason Witten, who I've tried to dish to anybody in the league, and I'm still willing to dish it to anybody that wants him because I can't stand him and I hate the Cowboys. Okay? And Andre Johnson, who's hit or miss. Everybody else is new. I got Brett Favre. I've got Matt Schaub. I've got new running backs. Anybody drops anybody worth anything, I'm picking them up. And I've got 22 moves to prove it. Thank you very much. 5-6. That's 2 more wins than I had last year. You're looking for big things out of me because I'm going to sweep the board the last 3 games. I'm coming in hot to the playoffs, and I'm hoping not only to get a playoff berth, I'm hoping to get a bye. That's what I'm shooting for. Woo! I got 3.5 men.
Yeah.
Go sit down before I punch you. I got 3.5 men, Make It Rain, and the Bayou Bandits, ladies and gentlemen, finishing the league. The Bayou Bandits. I've made 22 moves, as I said. I played the Sucker Bag of D's. The Sucker Bag of D's go to 4-7. They definitely think they're the best team in the league, and they probably have the worst schedule coming in. They play the only 3 winning teams. They've got Cock and Balls this week. Now You're in New York, and they play 3.5 men. That's what they got for the rest of the way, folks. So it's going to be game on for them. They got a lot of people on the bench. Last week they put Tony Gonzalez on the bench. What? Who's managing that team? Anyway, hey, listen, who am I to say that? They also have picked up a couple of really suspect defenses. Cincinnati and Dallas, we'll see who they play down the stretch. They do have Tom Brady, so anything's possible, guys. Listen, I hope you enjoyed the format. That's what's going on here. The Big Balls League is heating up. There's two 8-3 teams. There's 2 5-6 teams. There's a 7-4 team. There's 2 4-7 teams, and there's 1 3-8 team. Anybody's in it. I gave you the schedules going in. I'll do this format next week as well. And as always here from the headquarters, Fantasy Football Headquarters, as you can see, it's never far from my screen. Here we go. Fantasy Football Headquarters. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Good luck. Games start Thursday this week in Week 12. Over and out down here from the Mish's office.
Let's go, Roixnators!
My assistant. Woo! Thank you very much. Here's my assistant. His team won this week, as I said. High Point in the other league, 150. Go get them. Number 1 down here. Mish 1, Mish 2. Happy Thanksgiving. Over and out.